If you're getting ready to make your first pitch to investors or donors on your independent film, remember, it's not your first pitch. Confused? Well, actually, you are pitching people daily. In his book, The Power of the Pitch, Gary Hankins says a pitch is when you speak with an intent to persuade. Gary was a guest on my Art of Film Funding podcast, and I opened my eyes to just how often we actually pitch. You're pitching when you want to convince your friend which movie to see, and you're pitching when you're convincing your child what to eat. You may be pitching products or services in your job. A pitch is nothing new to you. It's something that you do naturally when you want something. And the question is, how have those pitches been working for you? Have you seen a lot of bad movies lately? And are your kids tossing food back at you? Well, if they haven't been working, it may be time to improve people's perception of you. Gary says that one of the main aspects of pitching people is how people perceive you. You can be a brand because individuals do have brands. For example, Marines would be branded discipline, Albert Einstein, intelligence, Mother Teresa, humanitarianism. And in the film, My Fair Lady, Professor Henry Higgins takes a Cockney flower girl and says that he will pass her off as a duchess. And he was quite successful in rebranding her. Perception is important because perception is reality, Gary explains. Once people meet you, they categorize you from that short period of time, and that becomes their perception, reality or not. So it's up to you to make sure the perception you create is the way you want people to remember you. This is especially true if you're pitching them for money for your film. Well, what are the factors people use to base a perception of you? Wow, their attention to detail, health, social status, self-confidence, taste, financial status, education, trustworthiness, and level of success. I know that's a lot of information we're sending out when we pitch. So self-confidence is so important when you're asking for money. I think posture is of major importance. And how you hold yourself is paramount to looking confident. Shoulders up, no slouching, keep direct eye contact. You have to walk into a meeting or pick up a phone after you have psyched yourself up with your incredible talents. You must feel that you're worthy, that you're honest, and that you will use the funds as planned. You can't look confident if you don't feel confident. So you must make that person be proud of what they know you can create. All of this has to be part of your DNA when you pitch them. So don't go into a pitch meeting feeling sick. Never go when you are not well, or even email important people because you're just not thinking right. Health is critical. Rather say, I'm just not well, I must postpone. So don't call people or email them. I know this from experience because I lost a very good Roy Dean grant donor because I was really ill, and I tried to write an email and it just didn't work. So don't work when you're sick. Now, taste in clothes. Well, what do you wear to a meeting? It's a very important decision, and you need to make that based on where you're meeting someone and who they are. I normally wear my Scully Western shirts daily, but when I go to meetings, I don't. I put on an expensive designer jacket and I dress like a professional because I'd rather be overdressed any day than underdressed. So if you're asking for $10,000 and you're in a t-shirt and blue jeans, I don't think you'd get it as fast as if you were dressed in business attire. And I think financial status is another major signal. If you're physically sponsored by a nonprofit, that can really benefit you because I tell our sponsored filmmakers to include From the Heart Productions in their pitch. They can say, well, my film has been chosen to be sponsored by a 25-year-old nonprofit that supports films that are unique and makes a contribution to society. So your donation will be tax deductible. The money goes to the nonprofit, and they monitor me to see that I spend the funds for the film. Hopefully, that helps you close them. Thanks for listening.